Hi, this is Niamh Lynn, and you're listening to Seamus Long on ICMR.
Knee slapping, foot tapping song. Oh, good old fashioned hand clapping, knee slapping, foot tapping song.
Yes, that is Niamh Lynn, of course, and Sing Me an Old Fashioned Song, her first huge hit. And would you believe it? Yes, we have Niamh Lynn on the phone as well. Niamh, how are you?
How are you, Seamus? How are you?
Not too bad at all, not too bad at all. You see, now I'm going to divulge a secret about Niamh, you see. She's not just a superstar and all that all over Europe and everywhere else, but she's also a mammy. And Niamh has just returned. You'd be expecting that she'd have arrived in the big old limo and all. Anne O'Halloran here on the station, she has her own limo, and Pat Garrett, the boss, he has his private helicopter and all. And well, we were hoping to bring Niamh in on those, but with the whole COVID thing, we didn't. But Niamh was busy. Niamh is just back after collecting a couple of chaps, or was it girls or whoever, from...
Two boys.
Two boys, yeah. And they're playing football and all that. You see, the life of a superstar mammy.
Oh, it doesn't end.
It never ends.
You think when they're babies, you've no time, but the older they're getting, the more just drop off the football and drop off the boxing and collect and bringing their friends here and there, and you're trying to get back to these interviews. So it's all go.
All
and
go.
As you said, my helicopter lad, he can't be off working because yourself the COVID thing, and I had to give him a few weeks off.
yeah, my private plane, I had to do the very same, like, because I had to keep a distance, like, in our private jet, I should say,
Yeah.
So, and I like to help out as a co-pilot, and I wasn't allowed to do it, so, but anyway, that I just played in with your first single, Niamh, your from a little while back. How long was that ago? About 5 years ago, was it? Would that be right?
I don't know, 6 years ago now. Thanks for having me on the show, by the way, Seamus.
Oh, no problem at all. Delighted to have you.
That was 6 years ago. Where does time go? And it's still doing great on my YouTube channel anyway, and it's huge across Europe and America and Australia, so can't complain. It's an earworm, so it keeps going, thank God.
Yeah, of course. You would have a voice sort of like a Patsy Cline sort of. That's a style that you would be more towards rather than the dancing as such. It's more of a
Well, I'd be more Nashville sound. That's the sound that I enjoy singing, and I've been compared to Patsy Cline all my life. So that's the route I took, and it hasn't done me any harm. So people like hearing it. There's a lot of people, I get a lot of people saying that they love, the fact that the new country that's out now, it's not what they like, and country, Nashville sound has changed into nearly pop rock, country rock, and it's not the same as what it used to be. So that they think it's refreshing that they see somebody coming along and singing the old songs and trying to keep it in that. When I write songs, like I try and keep it within that genre,
Yeah, there is. Yeah, the bro rock, as I saw something there recently of the whole little finger clicking and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, there's something very, very nice, or there's something just refreshing about the old style of your Patsy Clines, your George Jones, your Jim Reeves. Yeah. Like, there's something there, and you do capture that style very, very well. It has to be said now. Your Loretta
easy
Lynn's.
Listening, that's what we like.
Yeah, easy listening. And would you have grown up with that, Niamh?
Well, as you know yourself, probably from my flat accent, I'm from Dublin. Yeah. But, so, obviously, I'm not going to say that we sat by the fire and, listen to Patsy Cline all night, and it didn't happen that way. But, I've been brought up on 60s, 70s, pop as much as Patsy Cline. My nanny would have listened to a lot of Patsy Cline, and that would have drawn me to the likes of Loretta Lynn and Billy Joe Spears and Tommy Wynette. You know, all those the classic ladies, should we say? You know, and I enjoyed listening to them. So I listened to them as much as I listened to everything else growing up. I mean, my taste in music is quite eclectic. So you know, I like them all, but my voice is specific to old country music, and you know, that's where it's at home. That's where it's comfortable, and I enjoy singing those type of songs.
And at what stage then did you decide, well, I'm going to make a bit of a career out of this? Like, I mean, I'm presuming now that you were probably singing in the shower and singing while you were doing, you know, tipping around the house and doing your other work and whatever. And
I've been singing all my life. My father heard me singing in the back of the car when I was 5, so I was put into singing lessons from the age of 6, and he put me into dancing. That wasn't great, but I tried.
Like myself.
but no, I've been in loads of competitions and went from there. And what is now the Dublin Gospel Choir, we started that in school. I actually came up with the idea of doing gospel for the Leaving Cert. You know, you have your Leaving Cert mass.
Yeah.
And I came up with doing like stuff from like Oh Happy Day and like from Sister Act. I loved all of those songs, so we started doing that, and that went from there. We got to sing with Celine Dion.
Wow.
I met Mark Roberts for the first time in RTE there when I would have been about 16.
Yeah.
And he was doing the Eurovision, you know, Song for Europe, and we were backing him.
Oh,
so
wow.
years later, then I met him again and explained who he was, and he remembered me. So, yeah, so we went from there. We sang with Celine Dion and did loads of stuff, and then I left there and thought, I could make money out of this. So I joined the band, and we did, you know, pubs and weddings and stuff like that. And then I decided to go back to college. And once I got married and we had the kids, I was like, you know, I want to get back into my singing. This is obviously years later.
Yeah.
You know, Matt Levy. Matt Levy.
Yeah, Matt, a gentleman.
He's a very good friend of my brother-in-law, and he kept telling me, you need to do country, and I was like, right, okay, I'm going to try down in my local hotel, see what you give me a gig, and I set up a load of songs, Patsy Cline, Tommy Wynette, all those, and it just snowballed from there, you know. So I recorded Sing Me an Old Fashioned Song, and it just went from there. Everybody loved it, so 6 years later, here I am. Nothing to do in the middle of a crisis. like them all.
Like them all is right. Yeah. And of course, like, I mean, now you would be you're known for your voice, but your outfits, like, I mean, you kind of have a signature look as well, Niamh.
Yeah, well, you know, when we were doing Sing Me an Old Fashioned Song, obviously I had to do a video, and this was brand new to me. And I hadn't a clue what I was going to do. The dresses just kind of happened. I went into George's Arcade in Dublin, and there's a shop in there called Vintage Shopping. I just found that dress. I was like, right, I'll wear that. And it just went from there. Everybody loved the dresses, so I just kept doing it. And it worked because a lot of the female singers, not that there's anything wrong with what they wear, but I mean, they were all kind of wearing the kind of current fashion. And I was like, if I keep up my dresses, people will remember me, and it worked, you know. So it just kind of fell into that. It wasn't something that I said, right, this is what we're going to do. It just happened, and it worked, and people love it.
And of course, if anyone is wondering when we're talking about dresses and outfits and all, like, I mean, if you just go to Niamh's YouTube channel, Niamh Lynn YouTube channel, you'll actually get a taste of the outfits we're talking about, because you have them on a lot of your videos anyway.
It's on my YouTube channel is Niamh Lynn Country Music, and I've 3 million YouTube hits now.
Wow.
In the past 10 months, which isn't too bad.
No.
No, it's grown rapidly, and I've all my videos up there, so all my different dresses, and I have to see now. I'm in the middle of what I'm going to do next, so whether to change it up or not, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, well, sure, I need the dresses you don't want. Like, I mean, you can get them taken in and I'll wear them for you. Like, you know, I'm very obliging.
I'm getting them taken out at this stage.
Now, of course, like, not only in Ireland are you very, very popular, but also across Europe, if I'm not mistaken, you're very, very popular over in, like, Germany and places like that. Would that be true?
Yeah, Germany is quite big for me. You know, I sell a lot of CDs, and that's where most of them will be going to. There's a lot of interest in me there. And I've played in France a couple of times, and Denmark, and in the UK, obviously, a good few times, you know, so been over there. God, I can't remember how many times I've been in the UK doing shows. But, it's huge over there, and especially, like, the likes of Denmark. I did this a festival over there that I did, and, you know, I was explaining to you there the other day when I was talking to you, the way they really get into the whole country thing. You know, all the women be wearing like burlesque outfits, to be honest, nearly dressing the same as what I would dress like, and the lads will be wearing their long trench coats and their Stetsons, and really, really cool. You know, and they're really into line dancing.
Yeah.
So the stuff that I do would be great for line dancing. In the likes of Korea as well, they put up. I kept sending videos of people in Korea doing line dancing to me singing, which is quite bizarre. But it's quite weird. But I mean, in a good way. And South Africa as well. Only there a few weeks ago, some lad got a tattoo of my face on his arm. Really bizarre, but look, who am I to say no? But so I mean, it's you don't think that people are listening, but it's just unbelievable how far your songs can travel, you know. And I'm sitting here in Cavan, and all of this is going on, so it's great. When you get out to these places, you see it, and it's great to see it going down, you know, and you know that you're actually making a mark at some point.
Yeah, of course. Now, when you do mention about the tattoo, like, I mean, yeah, it wasn't just a little miniature tattoo, like somehow. No,
this was a big tattoo at the top of his arm of my big mush. So and a microphone. So no, it's pretty cool. I must send you the picture of it. You can put it up on your Facebook page, but it's just so bizarre.
Yeah, nice. Actually, you put up on your own Facebook page as well there, and just anyone that's listening in there, if you just go to Facebook, it's what is it, Niamh Lynn? You have a music page, yeah.
Niamh Lynn Country Music.
Yeah. On your Facebook page, and just put up that picture just so as everyone can see the devotion that some fans have to Miss Niamh Lynn. Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to actually, I was hoping there's someone to put a tattoo of my own good self on him, but that'd be more to keep crows out of a field of spuds or something like that. That'd be more so.
Yeah, I have that stenciled on my back now, so we're going for the next phase now, next week.
But now, years ago, Milli Vanilli came a cropper. Milli Vanilli were a huge band in the 80s, and they became a cropper when the music started playing and the voices started singing, and the two lads were there, and next thing the music stopped, and of course the lads were still going and trying to mime and all that, and the whole thing kind of shall we say was rather embarrassing. Now you've had a kind of the opposite that happened to you a little while back, where you were on stage and the music started, and tell us what happened, Niamh.
Oh jeez, okay. Right, well, I got to do this massive gig in France, in a little place called Crapon in Lyon in France, and I was supporting Emmylou Harris. Wow, which was huge, you know, and getting to meet her, and I went on stage anyway. I had Nicky James and State of the Heart Band they're from England, and Nicky's well known around Ireland. But he only passed away there at the start of the year. But so we went on and did a few songs, and you're talking away, and sure nobody understands what you're saying because they're all French. So everybody seemed to be happy enough anyway. But started the song, "Don't Go Home a Drinking," a Loretta Lynn song.
Yeah.
And couldn't think of the first word. So once you don't have the first word, you may forget about it, because I couldn't think of the word to start the song. So the music's still going, and I went over to Adrian on the bass, and I was like, "What's the first word?" And he was like, "I have no idea." I was like, "Oh." And then you're still smiling, and walked over to Nicky. I was like, "What's the first word? What's the first lyric?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Oh my God, okay." So turn around to the crowd and just say, "I forgot the words." Tell them all I forgot the words. And then the music, so I just told the lads to stop. And the ongoing joke is now, every time I see the lads, it's like, "So what's the start of Don't Go Home a Drinking?" I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, But, I mean, it could, see, that's when it goes the opposite way of Milli Vanilli. But I was live, and things like that happen. You could be singing songs forever, and then all of a sudden you get a blank. And especially when you're under pressure like that. There was 20,000 people in front of me. And, it wasn't a little gig, it was a big gig. But, I mean, I suppose once I did that, I had the audience. And, it went great after that. I just kind of settled back into it, and it was fine. Not a bother. Just go on with the next song. But, so that happened to me over there. And sure, when I was in, when we finished that gig and went down to backstage, Emmylou was in there, and I got to meet her. It looked like it was after running a marathon. The heat on the stage was ridiculous. Like, my nail varnish melted on my toenails.
Wow.
On the stage, it was ridiculous. The heat was shocking. And but we went down, and I got to meet her. And then you're walking around and you're meeting people, and she had done her gig, and then she came back down again. So I decided I'm going to go in and get out of this dress, because it was just so hot. And her dressing room was directly in front of mine.
Yeah.
And you see, the first time I met her, she was surrounded by an entourage. So it was just literally photograph, and then she was taken away. But I was in getting myself organised, and I heard her coming in, but there was nobody there with her. So I went out, and I was like, "Emmy," like as if I knew her. Emmy.
How are you, Mary?
And my name's Niamh. I was just talking to you earlier on. She's like, "Yes." She's like, "Oh, you did the dress." I was like, "Yeah." And I was telling her that I loved the song that she sang with Steve. Now, there you go. I can't remember his name now. It will come back to me. But the song is called "Goodbye." And I love this song. And I was telling her about it, and it reminded me of my nanny. And she was, I was talking to her for a good 5 minutes, and nobody was there to see it. Absolutely no one. So I went back out, and I was like, "I've just been talking to Emmylou Harris for 5 minutes, and nobody seen me." Like, "Yeah, right." And not even a photograph. But anyway, it happened.
Steve Earle.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Would it be Steve Earle?
Steve Earle.
Yeah.
Earle, yes.
See how brain is.
You just Googled that there, didn't you?
Yeah. Now you're after ruining it, because I was going to pretend that I was such a genius and all that, but I did Google it. Yeah. I Mr. Google tells all, but actually I did guess it. I did guess it. So you have to give me credit on that one.
I know, I'm only joking.
But had Emmylou actually noted or seen your performance, or?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because I know she was there when I went on, and then there's just so much going on at the one time. So you go down and you meet loads of people, and she's in meeting other people, and the press giving you interviews and stuff like that. So you're kind of kept going. So I don't know whether she did see me or not, but I'd like to think that she was sitting there watching me. I just didn't see her.
Yeah, that's the hope anyway. That's the hope.
Yeah.
Now, if you were given a choice of any of the, you've mentioned different artists there. Like, who would Emmylou be, or would it be Patsy? If you were given a chance to duet with any of the big stars over the years, like, who would you have gone with?
Or who Patsy Cline, without a doubt.
Yeah,
Patsy Cline, without a doubt. Yeah, absolutely. If I had my way now, it would be, oh my God, here we go again.
It wouldn't be me anyway, no.
Huh?
You wouldn't be duetting with me anyway, barring you wanted to scare someone away or something. Yeah, if you could call it that. Like, I mean, many people wouldn't call it singing now, that call it more scaring or squawking or something like that. Like, I mean, it's sort of like an asthmatic crow or something like that.
Oh, look, it'll come back to me. You see, there's me in a nutshell. I forget everybody's name. I'm great with faces. I forget everyone's names, so...
Yeah, I'm the very same myself as the case. Although, what's this? Groucho Marx said one time, "I never forget a face," but in your case, I'll make the exception. Now, he wasn't talking to me or you. Like, I mean, he was just talking to someone back in the 1930s or 40s or 50s or something like. So we weren't around then. Sure, both of us were only 21.
That was it. Well,
yeah.
And I'm a good 21 years younger than you, so I probably...
No, hold on there. Hold on there. I'll get up off the ground because you're going to get another kick at me now.
You're well used to me at this stage now, Seamus.
Oh, I am. I'm after. We've met a number of times over the years and always had great crack anyway, you know, so...
Yeah.
So, but anyway, actually, you have a big fan listening in from Hamburg, would you believe, tonight? Andreas. I presume you know who Andreas is.
Andreas Krosh.
Yeah.
If I'm saying the name right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I am, Andreas, but hello. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, Andreas is a huge fan of yours, and he's he sent me a message there to let me know that that he was going to be listening in, and a huge fan. And of course, we have Mick Cahill is listening in over there in Ballinrobe, and you can
Who's that? Elizabeth? Oh, right.
No, Mick Cahill.
Oh, Mick, sorry, I thought you said Elizabeth there.
Yeah.
Hello, Mick, how are you?
Well, maybe Mick, maybe at night, I don't know, maybe he's into the dressing up bit, I'm not too sure, maybe he calls himself Elizabeth, but no.
That's his own business.
Yeah, and Marie Hayes is listening in as well.
Marie, and where's Marie? You don't know.
Marie is she's actually down in Wexford, would you believe, around my own part of the country, actually, would you believe?
Oh, right.
Yeah. And Lev and Gloria over there in New Brunswick, across the pond over there in Canada, they're listening in and they're saying hello to you as well.
Hello, guys. Hope you're doing well over there.
Yeah. And Maureen Burke is up there in Leitrim. She's listening in.
How are you, Maureen?
Yeah, and Michelle Orr is over across the water in Bedford, I should say. Bedford, in England. I get mixed up with Jenny, help us. I don't know what sort of an effect you're having on me now. Your memory loss is affecting me now at the moment. But Michelle Orr, she's listening in over there in Bedford.
How are you, Michelle?
Yeah, and Anne Dreelan and Kathy Redmond are listening there in the county of Wexford as well. I actually played one of Anne's tunes there earlier on.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, you know that I was trying to get the kids off the football pitch and trying to get back here, so I didn't get to hear that. But
oh, well,
sure, it's lovely.
It's a fabulous job. And Nicola Arnold is in up there in Duleek in the county of Meath. And
that's not too far from me.
No.
Duleek, yeah.
Yeah, she has the whole family there. She has Sonny the hubby. Yeah, Sonny the hubby. That sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah, Sonny the hubby. And there's Kaylee. There's Mini Gigi, as we call him, Ian Arnold. And then there's Aoife as well. Aoife's just gone back to school there as well. So, your lads have probably gone back to school, are they?
Oh, that was the happiest day of my life. That was yesterday morning.
Six.
And I mean, I tears of joy. That's what I'm getting asked. So is there any tears? I know only tears of joy from me. I thought I'd never get into the gates. But no, do you know what? They need to be back. I don't mean that.
Yeah, they do.
They needed to be back, and they were delighted to be back. So that'll only last so long. I'm sure they'll have complaints in the next week or so. But there's no homework, you see, for a month.
Oh, is there not?
No. So happy days for me too, because I just find it mind-blowing.
Yeah. the homework is a bit of a pain in the posterior, all right, yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. And You have a new single coming out very, very soon, I believe, as well. A self-penned one, would I believe? Or would I be right or wrong?
I do. I will be, well, to get the video together as well for it, but I'm just waiting to get back into the studio. I did my recording in Kells, in County Meath, with a lad called Martin Quinn. So, he's after getting himself all organised, so nobody's in the room with him, and it's all social distance and all that, but we can get our work done, So, just waiting to get in there and finish off my album, and while that's going on, I'm going to get back out and get a self-penned song called I Didn't See You Then, But I Do Now, and that'll be coming down the line soon. So I've been doing a lot of writing over the lockdown as well, so for my next album, I want to try and, I don't want to bore people too much with my own stuff, so I just kind of put them in one or two songs in an album, so I'm trying to get as much as I can up together and get them down into the next album. So we'll see how it goes. And of course, good enough.
Wayfaring Stranger, a good friend of my own, said that it was one of the few songs that she would actually be bothered to download. So she was very, very fond of that song. Annette is her name, and she just said that she loved Wayfaring Stranger. And of course, she did a little bit of a different video for that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, because obviously the lockdown had started, and I thought it would have been nice. Yeah, it's a nice song, Wayfaring Stranger. It's about, I suppose, somebody's going to heaven, and they're going there to see their mother and their father, and that's what the song. You have to listen to the words of the song. I'm sure people know what it's about, but it's an old folk song, very old. So for the video, we couldn't get out and do something for it. So I had other ideas for it, but what we did was I just sat in my kitchen and used my phone and recorded myself. There was murder between me and my husband because he wasn't holding the camera right, so he got sacked, and I just did it myself.
It's so hard to get good staff, isn't it?
You can't get them, So I went up to the lake, and he's videoing me, and he's like, "Are you singing it?" "No, I'm not singing in this bit." Jesus, and then it's just, some of it's just cut too. It's half of what I have in there. The other half of it is me giving out. So I'm just, I look like I'm in the horrors in the video, and I probably am. But no, it worked out perfect. And Martin, the producer, he plays guitar as well, and he did a bit in his where he lives, and he sent that down to me. And Charlie Arkins, who does the fiddle.
Oh, genius. A genius on the fiddle.
Charlie's unbelievable. So he did a bit for me in there, record himself, and then we just sent it off to the fella who does my videos for me. It's Bad Apple Films, Aidan Farley, and he just edited it all together. So it just worked out perfect, So I have it up there on YouTube. If anybody wants to have a look at it, it's a good video. What I think it is, because of my work.
Well, anyone that wants to see it, just give us the YouTube channel again there, Niamh. Anyone that wants to see this video.
It's Niamh Lynn Country Music.
Yeah. So Niamh Lynn Country Music there on YouTube. If you want to see a little bit different of a video, and if you want to see her other videos as well, because as I say, well worth catching, because Niamh isn't she isn't the quintessential sort of a walk through the fields and up to the gate sort of a video. She had, like any of them have seen, they've kind of captured the essence of the song and captured a kind of an old style as well, a sort of a Nashville style to the video as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I try to keep away from fields as much as I can. You can do something. You can just use your imagination. You can, the picture of on my album, that's in my bedroom, and I'm throwing I've got loads of stuff together and just try and make it as interesting as I can. Got Patsy Cline record covers, and and all my dresses that I had worn up to then, like up on the back wall. So it looks like it's a dressing room, but it's just my bedroom. But I mean, you can use your imagination, and the world's your oyster. It doesn't take that much. Just a bit of imagination, and that's what I love. I love that part of it. I love being in the studio, and you're being creative in the studio, and then you can be so creative with your videos as well. That's a big part for me. I love that. And then obviously being on stage when you're there with people, it's great too.
Yeah,
it's a great job.
Anytime I've seen you on the stage anyway, you've always done a great job. You're well able to connect with the crowd. So anyone that's out there, if you hear Niamh Lynn is in your area, and of course she's better than Shaw's, who are almost nationwide. She's almost Europe-wide, or even worldwide, I should say, at this stage, because you were saying yourself there, you're very popular in Australia and in other parts of the world as well, in Korea.
Korea. Well, as far as line dancing goes, there's a chart on for line dancing songs. So people who love the line dancing, they download certain songs, so it goes into a chart. And Got a Lot of Rhythm in My Soul was in the top 10 in Korea for like line dancing. Very random, but no, it's great. But the likes of it now, me doing shows and stuff like that, I had got a few theatres booked for this year, but obviously the way things are, I had to cancel them because there's no point. So hopefully everything going well next year, we'll get back out there and get ourselves on the road. I would do my shows with, I don't know if your listeners probably know Ryan Turner.
Yeah, Ryan.
Turner, and yeah, so Ryan would support me, yeah, and absolutely, top class band, and with John and Martin as well, John on drums and Martin on steel and guitar. So I mean, they've everything there, and they know me so well. Like, I do a lot of shows over in the UK for Phil Mac.
Yeah.
So Ryan comes over and does that show for Phil as well. So I mean, we know everything about each other, so we all get on great, and it's always a great show because you can have a bit of crack with them. It's great to be able to bounce off the band as well. So they'd be just scared of what I'm going to say. That's all.
I wouldn't blame him. So, but I wonder, would Ryan Turner actually travel to Korea if you were brought over there? Now that's next one. He probably would. Yeah, Ryan would travel anywhere. I'd say if he could get the van over at all, I'd say.
Yeah.
So
there's something else. It's a talent in itself. Getting in a van and being able to drive that amount, like getting over to England, going over on the Eurotunnel and driving through France, and to get to, he's gone to Portugal at one stage in the van. I just think it's amazing that somebody would actually do that. But it's some going. It takes some stamina to just keep going and then come home and do more gigs and keep at it. They're brilliant, the three of them.
They're about the busiest band, I'd say, in the country, because anytime I ever meet up with Ryan and Martin and John, as you were saying there, the 15 nights there over there in Blackpool after being in such a place, and you're there, you're getting tired just listening to them, Yeah,
I know. It just keeps going, and they're brilliant. They're a great bunch of lads, and they're great crack, which is the best part of it,
Yeah, I know, it's great to work with. But anyway, I'm going to let you loose, or cut you loose there, Niamh, and it was absolutely great to have you back for an interview. As I say, it was 6 years,
Seamus,
6 years ago. Well, have I improved or got worse, or am I just the same? Or, you see my scorecard now, you see, and I have a bruised little ego, a very gentle little ego, so
I'm holding up a 9, all right? Because I don't think your dancing was great.
No, me dancing, yeah, I'm very bad at dancing on the radio, I break the aerial when I do it, so.
But thank you so much for having me on tonight. I'm sorry I was late. I should have been
you weren't late.
A little bit earlier, but
you weren't late. Shh. I pretended that I was running late, so you don't take the blame for it. You're all right.
Okay, fair enough. It's all your fault. But thank you, listeners, for supporting me, and please God, I'll see you all next year, and hope they're all keeping safe and well, and safe distance and masks and whatnot. Said mask. I bought a new mask today. And I thought I was going to pass out in the shop because I just couldn't breathe with the thing on. So I went and bought myself a visor.
Right.
And then I couldn't see. I ended up putting the mask back on. I was like, oh my God. So Can't win.
No.
But look, these things have to be done, don't they?
They do, yeah. It's actually be Halloween is usually when you put on the masks. This year, I think they'll be taking them off. Like, and
There'll be no, yeah, exactly. There'll be no Halloween this year.
No
We'll
Halloween.
have a little party for the kids, and that's it.
I'm just wondering, like, when Christmas comes, like, will you have to put sanitizer on the mantelpiece for when Santa comes down the chimney? That's why
Don't be coming in here.
Just
Oh,
wondering.
he's been in. Oh no.
But anyway, we're going to let you loose there, and hello to the other Seamus there as well. Seamus, your hubby, who's listening in. Me, he's the other Seamus. I'm Seamus, and he's the other
Seamus.
Yeah,
he's gone off. He's in the van, but he's listening. He's gone up to pick up the boxer now. My little boxer.
All right. But
it's a tag team we have here.
Yeah, well, that's the way it works. But thanks a million, Niamh, anyway, as I say, for dropping by or taking the call, and great to have you on, and much success. And we're going to finish off here with Wayfaring Stranger. And as I was saying, if you want to see a different kind of a video done, social distanced and everything else, and of course with a hubby that wanted a social distance when he was done getting an earful for his bad camera work, Wayfaring Stranger, check it out on Niamh Lynn Country Music YouTube channel. So check it out there, folks. But thanks a million, Niamh. Thanks a million.
Good man, Seamus. Thank you so much. Thanks
no
for having
problem at all.
On.
No problem at all, Niamh. Thank you very much. Here's Niamh Lynn.
Bye-bye.
Wayfaring Stranger.
I am a poor wayfaring stranger while traveling through this world below. Yeah, there's no sea.
Bringing you the best in country and Irish music. This is your station, irishcountrymusicradio.com.